Hello guys, my name is Philip, and as you guys can see, we're slowly going into the jacket season here in Norway. It's October tomorrow, and it's getting quite cold outside and dark. I'm actually filming this in sunset, so it might be a bit too dark by the end of this video. I don't really know what day of NoFap I am on today, and this is a sort of question that I don't actually get the question. People just sort of assume that I count days because I'm writing the day of NoFap in my video titles. The fact is, I don't actually count days. It's just after I've made the videos, I look at the last video I saw and I look at that date, and then I sort of count how many days it was from then till now, and then I figure out what day of NoFap it is. For example, if last day was 171 and today is 13 days after that date that I posted that video, I know that today is 184, but I don't actually count the days every day. And I don't have a piece of paper where I like put these like strikes for every day. So no, I don't count days, and I haven't counted days since like day 130-ish. So if anyone were wondering about that, yeah, I don't count days. But today, I want to talk about something that I hear some factionals say, and like other people, sort of opposing pornography, but they're kind of moderate in a way. They say this thing that pornography might be good in a certain way, because it kind of teaches you how to fuck to a certain extent. Like it has a, to a certain extent, it has a sexual educational value to it. Now, I get this feeling when people say this, that are opposed to pornography, that they kind of disagree with it themselves, but they don't want to sound like extremists. You know what I mean? So they're sort of, they've gotten into this NoFap thing, right? And they're like really like, yeah, pornography is bad, pornography is poison. But then in the public picture, they're kind of moderating themselves and going like, I am on NoFap, but everyone else thinks I'm insane. So I have to say these things like pornography might be good in a certain way and pornography is not all bad, so that people don't think I'm insane. And like you get this feeling that they're not really confident in what they're saying when they say this. Or at least I get that feeling. So what the argument is though for these people is that even though pornography is overall, mostly bad, there are certain things about pornography that kind of teach you about how to please women. You see, where the clit is, you see where you put the penis, you see like how you stimulate the clitoris and this and that, and that might give you like a little nudge into like knowing how to please a woman before you actually have to do it in real life. So that's the argument, the way I see it, or I don't even fucking know, but to be completely honest, but that seems to be the argument, right? That seems to be the argument. And well, first off, I would actually go so far to the opposite extreme to say that not even that is true. Because even though there might be like these tiny little details in these pornography scenes that kind of teach you, if you look at it in a certain way, how to please women, that is being massively overweighed by all these like weird things, like for example, that the guy is entitled to sexual pleasure and it doesn't go the other way around. Also, this thing that you have to last for very long, or else, she might not get pleased enough. This is a kind of weird delusion that a lot of people get from pornography, a lot of young people get from pornography, that the longer you last, the better you are as a sexual partner. Now, what people don't really realize is that there is actually such a thing as lasting for too long. And I myself experienced that when I lost my virginity. I lasted for too long, and what happened eventually was that my dick actually got soft, and I couldn't do it anymore, and it just kind of got awkward. And when that happens, because you can't stay hard for that long, that's the thing. You can probably, last for that long without coming, but if you do, you can't actually keep it hard for that long. So, all of these male porn actors, they use sexual performance enhancing drugs to actually manage to keep the dick that hard for like 50 minutes. But young men don't really realize this. Young virgins particularly don't actually realize this. So they watch these porn scenes and they feel like, I have to last for this long, or else she might get disappointed, because that's the norm for you, because the only sex life that you have is on Pornhub. You haven't actually had sex yet. So that's a delusion. Another delusion that I just mentioned, you're entitled to sex, but she's not. Also, these weird positions that they do, like, most of these positions are actually fucking impossible unless you have a gigantic cock. Like, for example, this one where she bends over, right? And he's doing this like sideways thing. This is so fucking weird when they do this. She's doing that sideways. Imagine doing that without having a ginormous cock. I mean, the cock doesn't reach across your thigh. It doesn't go that far. So you're trying to do this like sideways things, and it's just fucking weird. That's just an example, but like, that's another sort of delusion and you get from pornography, that you have to do all this like Kama Sutra shit that is just weird. And so I feel like all these little nitpicked little details that might have some, if you look at it in a certain way, some good sexual educational values to them, are being so massively overweighed by all these delusional things that you get from pornography that they don't even matter. But let's go even deeper into the statement that pornography might be good in a certain way, and go to the opposite extreme and create a hypothetical scenario where pornography is fantastic for sexual education. Pornography teaches you absolutely everything you have to know about how to please women and how to have sex, and it's a great tool for sexual education. Let's hypothetically make that scenario. But even then, would I say that pornography isn't good in any way? And the reason for that is, one of the most beautiful things, one of the most beautiful, cute, romantic things about being young and being curious about your sexuality and her sexuality, and being together and having sex for the first or second or third time, is figuring out how to please each other on your own. To figure out together how to have sex. So, to me, when people claim that, since pornography has a certain, even though it doesn't, but they say that even though pornography has a certain sexual educational value to it, when they say that, they're already assuming that you have to know how to fuck before you fuck. So they're already going from that assumption when they say that, it might be good because, well, it has some sexual educational values to it. But you don't. Actually, it's better if you don't. Because it's so much more beautiful, it's so much more romantic to actually figure out these things on your own. If you go into... If you're a virgin and like you might get laid tonight, right? And you've watched so much porn that you get this sort of mindset that you have to do what these guys do in these porn videos in order to please her. So you try to memorize like, what do these guys do? He did that first, and then she sucked his cock, and then he did this like weird thing to her vaginal lips, then he like went like this, and then what did he do after that? Oh yeah, then he stuffed his face inside her asshole. And you know, and you're sort of going like this, oh shit, I have to memorize this because I might get laid tonight and she might not approve of my sexual performance unless I perform like they do in the pornography videos. And you sort of get this kind of nervous, anxious mentality that you have to perform. This is your first time having sex. Don't fuck this up, right? And it destroys everything. It destroys everything that being young, being sexually unexperienced, and being curious about sexuality is. It destroys the beauty of it. Because it is actually beautiful if you look at it in a certain way, though pornography has made it so that it's just making a bunch of young male virgins really sexually frustrated. Because they feel like everyone else are having much more sex than them, and they sort of feel like they're behind. And I also got this feeling when I was still watching pornography that, oh, I'm so far behind because I haven't had sex. And all these people that are even younger than me have had so much more sex than me, but that they are so much better at sex than me because they've had more sex. So I suck in bed because I've never had sex. And I have to catch up. I have to fucking catch up. I need to get laid soon. I need to lose my virginity soon. And it sort of creates this kind of agitated, stressed out sexual frustration in young men. So, alright, where was I? Yeah, even going from the assumption that pornography is fantastic for sexual educational purposes, even then would I say that it isn't a good thing. So I would actually take the extremist position and say that pornography is all bad. There is absolutely nothing good about pornography, no matter how you look at it, and no matter from what perspective or angle you look at it. Not only is it bad for the consumers, but it's also bad for the creators. Meaning, it's bad for the people, the actors within the pornography industry. There are several, many porn actors. Actually, more porn actors have said this than porn actors have not said this. That all this sexual abundance that they experience in their profession has made it so that, and both men and women, alright, this is not about gender, even though a lot of people make it about gender, which is, I think it's weird. Because people always want to have an agenda. People always want to have a feminist agenda, then other people want to have like an MRA agenda. The reality of things is it's not really about gender at all. Pornography is just bad for everyone. That's the reality of things. So yeah, both men and women say this, that all this sexual abundance that they experience in their profession has made it so that they're unable to feel a romantic connection with a person of the opposite gender. And this makes them depressed, and some of them commit suicide. And that's the nasty truth about pornography, not only for us, the viewers, which I don't watch it anymore, you probably don't either, but also the creators, the actors, the directors in the porn industry. It's also bad for them, because it fucks up the sexual nature of human beings. It just goes in and it fucks it up so bad that it makes us depressed. That's what happens with all human beings who go against nature in any kind of way. They get depressed. The more you deny nature, the more you try to screw it up, the more you're actually fucking up yourself. And so no, I wouldn't say that there's anything good about pornography. I would say that it's purely toxic. It's pure poison for love, for happiness, for motivation, and for mental health and physical health. It's pure poison. It's just a big crock of shit. That's what pornography is. And I'm not gonna stand here and sort of moderate myself because some people might think I'm insane for saying this. No, fuck that. I truly think that pornography is completely bad. It's just a big crock of shit. That's my opinion. I'm gonna express that opinion. And I also want to challenge you, the viewer, to actually come up with a good argument against what I just said. To actually come up with a good argument now to claim that pornography actually is good in a certain way. I want to challenge you to find a good thing about pornography. And I want to promise, alright, I'm gonna be a bit bold here and actually promise that I will find an argument that will crush your statement. But I want to challenge you. I still want to challenge you to do that. And I also want to thank you for watching this video. And if you want to see more about this, then subscribe. I am going to post more. I'm not done yet. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And also, just thank you so much for the love that I got from my half-year report. That was insane. Like, that video has much more than 100 likes now, and it's overwhelming. So just quickly, thank you guys for that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.